round of the team from the round of 11. Sedrick, please, if you can stand. I want us to walk through this with you. So let's take a look at your team first. Take us through this.
You see,
move closer to the screen, Sedrick.
I'm suspecting that maybe Rogers might have actually sided by some of the referees to interfere with some of my key players. Now to the essence that they were picking some erroneous injuries.
Yes.
That might not really make them press the final of this tournament.
Why is starting just defending yourself before trying to tell us how you scored this?
It's a what disclaimer because you have spoken about referees, but I'm here not to complain like just Morocco did not complain when Chedira received a red card. And that's why even I was like saying that that's the team spirit and the time of the culture that players should actually be emulating.
Yeah, keep off the referee, just do your job.
Do your job, because Morocco actually it was unfairly, and to me it was an easy red card to Chedira.
Let's go to the squad.
He could have actually gotten that particular red card. Going back to my squad,
yes.
I will and again put a disclaimer to Roman Saiz, who has really stood out in this particular tournament.
Yes.
But it's so quite unfortunate that we are trying to really surge up and see if our medics will really advise.
At this point, you're not addressing Ishtemi because you'll come with this way. You're addressing me. Yes.
And help,
why you decided to
and
come
help,
up with
help.
this?
Yeah, I'm there, and help us maybe
Yes.
still get the likes of Roman Saiz, who has been one of the cog at the center back, and make my team continue winning with
Yes.
some. These are 4-2-3-1 kind of formation. It has actually been presented this way to also give, just after the back four, give what we call the pivot defenders. And these pivot defenders, we have the likes of Casemiro, who will give us the edge of what we have been experiencing in the World Cup. Remember, teams that are really almost gracing final in this particular World Cup, they are a team that has really presented a formidable defense.
Yes.
And team that has really done a lot of job to ensure that they only consider either one goal or maybe take the game to extra minute and penalties.
Yes.
And thus, I'm not only talking about my team, but
Yes.
I'm also representing Morocco and
Yes.
Croatia in this particular formation. You see, why I've presented such kind of, you know what Bono has done?
Yes.
Is a kind of a goalkeeper between the stick who has made Morocco to be where it is. He has actually had some kind of magnificent kind of save. You remember even at the dying minutes of the game, he did actually come to term to ensure that Morocco remains in the game after having picked, one of their players having picked up a red card, whom we have just spoken about, Chedira. Also just in front of them, he will actually be given cover by the likes of Gvardiol, the 21-year-old. We have spoken about this young Leipzig player who has actually brought that value and A game that is required in this particular tournament. I know teams are actually yearning for his signature, but and again I will advise him to settle down and really look for the highest bidder if he wants actually to make it in life. Roman Saiz, who has just picked an injury, is one also of the promising defenders in the tournament. And I think if maybe Morocco surge up to the final and maybe, who knows, maybe run away with this tournament, he will again be presenting himself as one of the best defenders of the tournament. If FIFA is to go fairly and see what Morocco has been done in Saiz and Agued, they were really partnering very well in that particular midfield, and they have been giving cover to Bono. That's why I needed to include him. If now Saiz can partner with Gvardiol, and we see what they have been doing to their nation team, and bring that progressivity just ahead of their goalkeeper, Bono will be just reading newspaper between the stick. We have in the flanks.
Yes.
You have the likes of Luke Shaw. Why I still have Luke Shaw in my team, regardless of what England has really, is that the mere fact that as in wing and flank has not been receiving threats whenever England has been playing. It also presents some value that Luke Shaw has been doing, actually value that is needed there, has been traveling ahead, trying to bring cross, looking for Ken Adeni, at the same time not forgetting his primary role, which is defending, falling back and giving the value to the defense and ensuring that England does not face threat going by that particular line. Achraf Hakimi is not somebody that we can actually go ahead and talk about, because remember, even before he came to this particular tournament, he was still being touted as one of the best fullback too. But and again, he has come here and showed us what he's really valued for. He's a kind of a player whom has really done value to Morocco, and he has done each and everything that Moroccan would like to supply balls with the likes of Ziyech along that line. It's only that Ziyech is not in my squad. Amrabat and Casemiro, those are the so-called, whom I keep on referring to, that pivot defenders. They are defenders actually to offer. Because I needed that defense that will not and again give too much pressure to my goalkeeper.
Yes.
Remember, you need to introduce another pivot line of defense. Not necessarily defensive, but they can still go ahead and if get in that space, still bring threats. Now he keeps on supporting my forward three,
yes,
and then falling back to also offer the defensive line to my back four.
Yes.
And that's why I like the likes of Casemiro from the Brazilian team and Amrabat, who and again brings that kind of value needed in my defensive midfield.
Attacking trio.
That's the little trio that you can really speak about. Is the little trio to the essence that all whatever they have done in the tournament
can we
speaks
have
for
the
itself.
can we have the yes.
Remember what Mbappe has done. Actually, it took Kyle Walker so much time in that particular game against France to ensure that each and everything he was doing is surrounded around Mbappe. We could not see the Walker that we have actually seen traveling, trying to come forward. Yes. He was actually reduced to play his role as a fullback too, and that was because the role of Mbappe in that particular team.
Messi,
we have had also the likes of Messi. Messi, you have seen the kind of brilliancy that we have been talking about when the game is so locked. Messi has been coming to unlock those kind of games.
Yes.
Trying to bring, actually this time round I've seen him traveling some 4, 5, 3 yards and trying to bring that ball across the ball, which and again has been resulting to goals. Neymar, when the game was locked, when the game was not actually being unlocked at that particular time, you could see his brilliance in that particular game. If Brazil was actually clever enough to seal a game at that particular time without really playing as if the Brazil that we have associated not going to defend. I think if after Neymar has scored, they would have just returned back and defended that goal. Brazil would have been proceeded against Croatia. But and again, Brazil being a Brazil, they thought that they can still play up to the
Yes.
That's why they ended up considering.
Giroud.
We have Giroud. Why I've introduced Giroud in this particular? Remember, in my last match, I had Richarlison.
Yes.
But why I've brought in Giroud, I've also seen in my team, I need somebody with aerial prowess. Somebody who can really tackle and attack aerial ball. And we have seen Giroud, most of Giroud goals actually comes from aerial. And this is a kind of a player whom actually you can bank on. When the defense is so tight enough, you can bank on to really unlock defense using set pieces. And that's why we have this kind of a team here. I think it's a team that can really go ahead, if at all it was coming from the same nation, a one nation rather that is. If this was the France of Africa, let me say so, where we have the united players coming together and trying to bring the results that are needed, I think this will be a title contender in any given tournament that it will be really representing this nation.
I want Estebi to critique your team. I want Estebi to critique your team.
Hey, I love the squad. But now, looking at the squad, not bad one. You just have, to me, I think you just have one creative player in that team. And the laziness in him will not help the team maybe to have good link up between the defense and the attack. That creative, of course, is coming in the name of Neymar. We know Neymar is a ball player.
Yes.
Yeah? He's also only good on the ball. But now you have two defensive midfield in the name of Amrabat and Casemiro. You know, those guys sit deep. They don't join the attack. That's a fact. They rarely join attacks. Yeah. So Neymar, he can decide also maybe to remain with Messi and Mbappe there. The trio, of course, you see what they have been happening in PSG. Yeah. Because of the stardom in them, that battle of stardoms, I think someone can affect them. But well, that's good. Now, why I'm gonna criticize this squad strongly is the central defense. Why on earth can you have two left-footed players, the center halves? You can't. That's where I'll score most of my goals from. Because Saiss is a left-footed player, same to Vadiol.
Yeah.
How can they be partners in the center half?
Sedrick will explain.
It can't happen. It can't happen. It can't happen.
Gentlemen.
No.
It can't happen.
You see, if you allow me just to bring Eshitemi to terms, and I will tell you, which number does Danilo play naturally at the club level? Right back, right?
Yes.
But we have seen Danilo trading at fullback 3 at Brazil and has been doing wonders. Sometimes the tactics of the game actually lies with the tactician himself.
Yes.
He's the one who knows the team. He's the one who knows how to arrange the team.
Well,
at the same time, I will still bring Roman Saiss has got an injury. This young player who plays for Morocco in Qatar is a left footer. He was actually introduced in this particular position.
Yes.
But Morocco still did not concede any goal. He played very well.
Because just hold on, let me bring him to terms with what he's saying. Saiss is a left-footed. The player who replaced him is a left-footed, right? Now, that is no problem with that. But how can you have two left-footed player playing the same position? Because here you have to have a right-footed player play with the left-footed player in the center back. Even talking about Danilo maybe is using both feet. That's why he can play on either side. But in this scenario, gentlemen,
Sedrick, Ishtemi. I'm trying to get what Ishtemi is saying, and what he's saying perfectly makes sense. We have been trying to learn the culture of Qatar as the World Cup has